Hello students. Today for class 8 geography, I have selected a topic of the discussion, that is livestock rearing. Now hopefully you know the term livestock, that is a simple word we can say the cattle, the one that is being domesticated and we are using the product of those cattle. So today we are going to discuss under the agricultural chapter livestock rearing. Now, a very common thing under this is that this type of primary activity does not include any cultivation. The crops are not cultivated. The soil is not very much important in this respect. Uh, Basically, we are not getting the food crops or the non-food crops. It is related to the grasses, grasslands. So, first, I'm going to say about it that livestock rearing is classified into two categories. Number one is nomadic, number two is commercial. So, in this order, within a comparative manner only, I'm going to proceed with the explanation of this entire livestock rearing part. Now, the first characteristics of the livestock, by the term it is clear who are involved in nomadic herding. We term it as a herding. We basically the cattle are herd out, means they move along with the herds. Those who are in practice with nomadic herding, they move along with the herds, so it is termed as nomadic herding. But here there is no such movement. There is no such movement. We term it as a rearing, commercial rearing, livestock rearing. Now, who are practicing nomadic herding? Obviously tribal people. Obviously the tribal peoples, they are tribal society, those who are nomads. Tribal society, those who are nomadic in nature, they practice nomadic in nature. They practice nomadic herding, and commercial rearing is being practiced by the developed society. Developed society. Okay, they are practiced by the developed society. That means those who are having lots of skill of various techniques to rear the cattle. Let me proceed with it, then you will find out what are those process which is very much needed. Developed society, okay, and they are not nomadic in nature. Those who lives a sedentary life. Sedentary life. Sedentary means stable, not in a nomadic order. There is no such movement from one place to another. They are settled out in one place. That is sedentary life. Okay, first point of comparative study. Second point, the nomadic people here, they just uh, what we can say domesticate the cattle according to the climatic condition. Okay, they domesticate domestication of herds is according to climatic condition. It is according to climatic condition. It is according to the climatic condition. Just giving an example, the nomadic people, those who are living in the cold desert areas, they used to domesticate yak. They used to domesticate what we can say sheep. But those who are there in the hot desert areas, they domesticate that is cattle, which is that can survive without water for a long period of time. That is uh, sh- what we can say ship of a desert means the camel. Okay, even the goats are there, and there are other cattle also. So in this way, domestication of herds is according to climatic condition. And here it is single specialization of the cattle rearing. Single species specialization. Single species specialization for cattle rearing. For cattle rearing. Okay? Means either cow, buffalo, goat. That means they concentrate in only one particular species. It's not according to the climatic condition, but it according to the category or the species of the cattle. That is their main specification. Now the third point, there is one specific characteristics which is termed as transhumance, which is termed as seasonal movement. Seasonal movement. Okay, seasonal movement. Seasonal movement of the nomadic people along with the herds. And it is termed as, this is termed as transhumance. It is termed as transhumance. TRANSHUMANCE, transhumance. Okay. Now, what is this transhumance? During the summer season, the climatic condition over the uphill is quite a pleasant one, and the fodders are also available over there. So nomadic people move from the lower level, lower lying areas towards the high altitude areas, and just the vice versa or the opposite. During the winter season, they again come down to the low lying areas or the plain land. So this is a seasonal movement, and the term that is indicating the seasonal movement is transhumance. That is under the nomadic herding. Under the commercial livestock rearing, as I said, that those who are in practice with the commercial livestock rearing, there is no such seasonal movements. Rather, they are having a sedentary style of life. So, they are using what we can say, they are using a pasture grounds. They are using the fodders, the pasture grounds, which are termed as ranches. Which are termed as ranches. The pasture grounds or the fodder belts for the commercial livestock rearing is termed as ranches. So they don't have the movement along with the cattle. Rather, they are using a plot of the land which is basically a what we can say, that is a fodder grounds or a pasture grounds, and it is termed as ranches. So we got 3 point of comparative study. I am proceeding with the next one. Now, nomadic people, as I said, during the summer season, they move to the uphills. During the winter season, they come to the downhill. So, what type of climatic condition is there where nomadic herding is being practiced? So, the climatic condition is extreme. Point number 4, nomadic herdings are practiced in the extreme climatic condition. They are practiced in extreme type of climatic condition. Extreme type of climatic condition. Okay. During summer it is too hot. During winter it is too cold. But for the commercial livestock rearing, they are practiced in the moderate, neither it is too very cold, neither it is too very hot. Moderate climatic condition. So we got the 4 point of comparative study. Nomadic herdings are practiced in the extreme type of climatic condition areas or the regions, whereas the commercial farmings are practiced in the moderate climatic conditions or areas. Moderate climatic areas where the temperature conditions is moderate throughout the year. Even the rainfall is well distributed throughout the year. Number 5. Nomadic herdings basically depends upon natural pastures. It depends upon natural pastures. Nomadic herding depends upon natural pastures. That means the pastures which grows naturally. As I said, there is no such cultivation activities are basically present in this type of livestock rearing. So nomadic herding, they that is this natural pastures supports the nomadic herding, and commercial farming, or sorry, commercial livestock rearing, they depends on temperate grassland areas. Temperate grasslands. They depends on temperate grasslands. Okay, temperate grasslands gives the support for the fodder to the livestock rearing. That is point number 5. Now, let us see about the investments. That is, what type of labor are involved or the workers are involved in both the types of that is cattle rearing. So here the laborers or the workers, those who are engaged, they are unskilled workers. Here unskilled workers are engaged, and here as it is a developed area, so here workers, skilled workers are employed. Skilled workers are employed. This is entirely the work done with the help of the manual labor. There are no machines employed to get any sort of the products, whether it is milk, whether it is the flesh, that is the meat, or whether it is the skin, whatever it is, everything is done with the help of the manual labor. And here all the process is done with the help of machineries. Manual labors are also there for their looking after, for their caring purposes, and here under this other parts or other work, that is the products that they are producing it, they are using the machineries. So what we can say, point number 7, it is labor intensive. It is labor intensive, and here it is both labor and capital intensive. Labor and capital intensive, because the caring of the animals, the that is the looking after of the animals, everything is done with the help of the manual labor, but the extraction of the products is with the, or the processing of the product is with the help of the machines. So that is why it is both labor and capital intensive. But here every work, as they are tribal society, they are not having any sort of knowledge about how to use the machines, they are unskilled workers, so entire work depends upon manual labor, so it is labor intensive. Now the areas which are there, it's already given in your book, and just proceeding with that, the areas which are there, page number 177 of your book, that for the nomadic herding, it is practiced in the parts of West and Central Asia, Northern Eurasia, East and Southwest Africa, and the Sahara Desert, where basically all the nomadic people. That is, they are some of the nomadic herders. I'm naming it like the Kyrgyz, the Kazakhs of Central Asia, the Bedouins and the Tuaregs of Sahara Desert, the Maasai of East Africa, the Gadis and Bakarwals of the Himalayan region in India are some of the important tribes that they are in practice of this nomadic herding. And next, the commercial livestock rearing. In your book, the name is given as a pastoral farming, or it is also termed as commercial livestock rearing. So, the areas which is practiced, it's the temperate grassland areas. Already I said the prairies of USA, the pampas of Argentina, the veld of South Africa, the steppes of Eurasia, and the downs of Australia. All these are the most developed parts of the entire world. So entirely, I have explained entirely the features of both the types, that is nomadic herding and commercial livestock rearing. Now commercial livestock rearing, as it is given in your book, it is also termed as pastoral. Why it is named as pastoral? Because it depends upon the pastures, the fodder that is permanently present, settled. It is permanent. It is not a that is a seasonal one, or neither there is any sort of movement taking place over here. So pastoral farming or commercial livestock rearing. Okay. Lastly, for both the thing, one common characteristics is there, that nomadic people, those who are practicing livestock rearing, these are also sparsely populated area, or I'm using the word thinly populated areas. And even the commercial livestock rearing, the area which are engaged in the livestock rearing in a commercial base, that is also sparsely populated or thinly populated area. Both the livestock rearing having this one common characteristics, that both are having sparsely populated or both are thinly populated areas. So I have completed the explanation of the livestock rearing, which is divided into two types. One is the primitive one, which is the nomadic one, and another one is the advanced one, that is the pastoral or commercial livestock rearing. So if you are having any doubts, I'll open the group today, and thank you for following my video. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe, and just jot down everything in your copy what I have discussed today and what is there in the notes given in your site. Thank you.